Good morning. It's July 9th in 2022, and I'm here to offer what guidance I can so that we can get to freedom as a natural state of order. I wasn't able to get to the work yesterday. So I want to begin with this book. Can you see that? The Code Journey 2022 edition, A Daily Guide to Life on Earth. I saw this woman speak. Her name is Jessie Ann Nichols George. And I attended a gathering last night where she spoke at length. And this book she wrote, and she writes a year ahead of time, and it's synthesizing a lot of disciplines. And she gives daily guides. This is for July 9th, so you can read everything for July 9th, 2022. And she's writing now for 2023. Uh, Riveting and fascinating person, and truly incredible tome of a book. She is an what they call a walk-in, somebody who has incarnated, who is a higher source of wisdom, and who has relieved somebody else of their body. They've agreed that the person who was occupying their body would leave the body, and somebody a um, of a higher vibration, magi as well. She belongs to a team of magi's to would take over the rest of the lifetime, and that's what she's doing. So she's sharing a lot of wisdom about how we're going to manage through the oncoming times. And something that caught my ear, of course, was that she said in 2023 we're going to be dealing with a lot of military. That's going to be sort of probably going to be under military rule. And of course, a lot of people are going to transition during this time. Uh, so as we all are pretty aware of, it's a very, it's a, it's a very challenging and transformative time. She said that we need to get through these 5 years that began in 2020 to 2025. So what we're all working on is to get there with humanity intact. The planet's going to be fine. It's whether humanity is going to make it. And of course, what where we have our greatest strength is working in our individual I am creative modes. So I've spoken to you about, I think, some of the resources that we have. The specific one that's been resonating with me lately is Neville Goddard. And Neville Goddard actually probably was the precursor to The Secret. And, there's Esther Hicks and a lot of people. And essentially, their messages are that the power of our ability to create what we want is untapped for the most part. And Neville Goddard there's quite a number of free YouTubes available to help us. And he advises that we use the time before we go to bed, and we immerse ourselves in our imagination of whatever we want to come about. That we are, in essence, living in the outcome in our imagination, specifically as we go to sleep. So this is a good piece of advice, that we use that time to visualize humanity growing strong in freedom, and that things will work out peacefully. Another piece that he does, and I'm not doing it justice, I'm just sort of hoping to tease your interest. And, there's others who are working like this, like the Silva Mind Control, and a lot of other things, essentially for us to begin to discipline our our creative capacities for a better outcome and not to be influenced, not allow ourselves to be drawn into distractions and little personal um, manipulations and all these other things. So the other one was about how, and we know this, that our thoughts are creative things. So I am certainly uh, one that is doing a lot of house cleaning with what my thoughts are creating, and I'm working to create the outcome that we want to. That is, so that being said, I wanted to talk about our um, the boundaries of where we are projecting. Uh, and it's been a difficult time because we see these people who are um, prospering with such impunity, pushing and coercing these experimental um, injections that are actually having a worse outcome than the people who have refused, and the um, continued aggressive censorship by uh, so many public platforms, and additionally our Congress, who is to make no law abridging the freedom of speech, is also in place to protect our freedoms, is of course uh, doing nothing to insist that these companies protect our freedom of speech. I've already been taken down on YouTube. What I did want to say is that uh, on some level and on the grand level, we are all connected. You know, we are all related. So the people that we perceive as doing wrong are a reflection of the greater whole that we belong to, and our perception of them as different and other is fine in some respects in the contrast, but also on some level we need to be honoring the fact that what we are projecting onto these people. So when I am accusatory of Bill Gates, or accusatory of others of not looking out for the good of all, there's a couple things I want to be mindful of. Is, am I allowing a victim stance in myself? Am I saying I am a victim? Uh, and that paradigm is completely imbalanced when we're looking at being able to step into our I am creativity, our power of manifesting. So additionally, tying it into the material that people like Neville Goddard are offering us, and people like this incredible woman. And if you are interested in getting her books into your establishment, um, do that. I don't know where her website is. I'll see if I can find it and put it up. We are what we can do with this power of imagination, where there are outcomes that we want that don't look like they're going to happen. For example, let's say you have a personal conflict with somebody and you're pretty sure it's going to go south. What you can do is, again, in that evening meditative time or another meditative time, you build in your imagination the outcome of a positive resolution, a positive outcome where which is the one you would prefer. So this, of course, can be applied to any situation. So we have these perpetrators of enormous greed and enormous crime. Again, they are on a broad level connected to us. We are related to them. We are related to that instinct. We are in some way responsible for the instincts that lead people down the dark path. And insofar as we are responsible for one another, what we can do with this this time is to use, again, for the third time, our power of imagination to, specifically as we go to sleep, and again, go to Neville Goddard or any of those other teachers to hone your own ability to do this. We can use our collective mind, our individual mind, to prepare and to manifest and to draw towards us a much higher vibrational outcome for humanity. And that's everything I've got for today, July 9th on 2022. I wish you well, and thank you for joining me. Bye for now. Oh, wait, let me pause. Let me see if I can find this. Hold on, I'll pause it. Okay, this is of course low tech, but here is how you can get in touch with this woman. You can pause the video and go back and copy these. Alrighty? Thank you for joining me.